You know how almost everyone talks about the fact that Ghana imports so much and that we should also stop exporting most of our raw materials. But what if I told you that not all imports are bad and not all exports are good as well? Now, let's have a closer look at this. You know, when people love to bash imports and that we are too dependent, are killing our local industries. In fact, even myself, there are times that I have talked about the fact that we are hurting our local industries by importing so much. But this is the part that I really want you to pay particular attention to. Now, some imports are very necessary. Things like medical equipment that we don't manufacture yet, specialized machinery, or tech devices that we use in our schools and for our businesses. These things help us grow, and once we don't manufacture them here, it only makes sense that we import them because they add significant value to what we do over here. Even when you talk about importing things like rice, chicken, and co, this is not entirely bad. The reason being that sometimes some of these imports help fill the gaps where the local industries fail to meet the demand. So the real problem is not about importing as a whole, but importing things that we can locally manufacture or produce, but we have refused to invest in such ventures. Talk of things like tomatoes, toothpick, and even let's say most of the agricultural products, poultry and co. These are things that we can heavily invest and locally produce on a larger scale. There's a similar thing when we flip to the other side, or better still, exports. Export helps bring some money, helps support some businesses and jobs, helps us connect to the global market. But the truth is that not all exports are worth it. If we keep exporting the raw gold, the raw cashew, and import the finished goods such as jewelries, chocolates, and things like packaged nuts, we are just on the side of losing on the bigger profits. That is like having a mango and you decide to sell it and then later buy back a mango juice in a fancy bottle at a higher price. Who wins there? And so the key thing that I want you all to take note of here is not to stop import or export as a country, but to consider balance and strategy. Import what you need to build, export what you have added value to. Invest in industries to help reduce unnecessary imports. Then finally, we can also talk about upgrading the raw materials before exporting them.